Awesome. Thanks, everyone. I'm Katherine Porter. I am with Academic Technology and HUIT. I am a short person with short brown hair wearing a HUIT polo shirt today. And I'm really excited to talk to you about the digital Latin tool. We launched version 1 on August 15th, and it's in use right now. So I'm excited to tell you a little more about it. Our goal with the digital Latin tool was to support student learning in our Latin courses while reducing our instructor workload. How? Well, using AI, of course, because that's the thing. And so if you've ever taken a language course, you're probably familiar with the concept of tiered passages or leveled passages, where you're reading something that has kind of authentic content, but if you're a first-year learning Latin student, you're learning it kind of at a lower level, right, with easier vocabulary, easier grammar. And that's a really well-established way to help students build their Latin fluency or their language fluency in general. But for a language like Latin, where there aren't really a lot of newspapers, websites, blogs being posted in Latin today, it's a little more time-consuming for instructors because they have to take that Virgil or that Pliny and they have to actually translate it down manually. So we wanted to try to use AI to do that. So the way that the tool works is that the instructor selects a Latin level. It could be level 1 for a first-year Latin student or level 2 for a second-year Latin student. They paste in a classical Latin passage. In this case, it's some Virgil, talking about Jupiter and Aeneas. And they tell the tool, here's my passage, here's my level, please simplify. The tool then takes the passage that was input and creates a simplified version based on the level that was selected. And it also gives an explanation of what changes it made and why it made those changes. The instructor can then take this passage and use it with the students. And the idea is that the students would have the original passage, and normally, without this tool, they would be staring at this passage with a dictionary and a grammar and maybe some Cliff's Notes and trying to figure out what's going on in this passage. But since they have a version that's at their confidence level with Latin, they can actually read it and get the context of what's going on without having to be so fluent in Latin. And then that helps them build their understanding. Behind the scenes, we're using a tool called Prompt Flow. So that combines the passage that the instructor input, the level they selected, with a system prompt that we wrote that tells the LLM for first year, make these changes, for second year, make these changes. It's all combined in prompt flow and passed via API to our large language model. In this case, we're using Gemini because it gave us the best results. All of that response is then passed back to the instructor, who can converse with the LLM the same way they would if they were using, Gemini on their desktop. They can ask it to make additional changes and things like that. So that's our tool. Obviously, this was not just me. I'm really grateful for all of my collaborators, especially the engineers who built out this tool, and Ivy, who is our Latin SME, because I am not fluent in Latin at any level. So it was very helpful to have her to help us understand the problem and grade our outputs. So thanks, everyone.